What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Refinement. My show is about building an online store. Today I want to talk about two numbers that can help you hack your growth. So if you guys have never heard of me before, my name is Chris. I've been doing this for about 4 years now. This year I'm trying to take my store from $45,000 a month in sales to $90,000 a month in sales, essentially doubling it. Last year I averaged 80 listings per day. This year I want to average 100 listings per day. I've successfully done that 2 days in a row, so only 363 more days of listing more than 100 items. Listing wise, it takes me between 1 and 3 minutes to list an item. So I think it's really important to time your processes, but we're going to get into that in just a moment. If you guys like this type of content, please help me out. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm so that people can find this channel, and consider subscribing if you like information like this to help you build your store. So let's look at the two numbers that really matter here: average click-through rate and average conversion rate. I'm going to give you guys some rock hard examples here of how to use this to get more sales. So I have an absurdly low average click-through rate. It's terrible because what I have is thousands of people on YouTube looking through my eBay store and not buying anything. So that's going to affect my average click-through rate, and it makes eBay wonder what's wrong with my store because people are in it but not buying anything. So this is going to give you an idea of total 32 million people looked at my store in the last 30 days, or they saw one of my listings in the scrolling. When they were scrolling, 84,000 people clicked on it, and of those 84,000 clicks, 1,900 people converted. This is important because you can come to this performance tab and essentially look at what you're doing wrong, but there's something even better than this I'm going to show you in just a moment. But this is the basic overview. When you scroll down, you can actually search and look for each specific item. This is massive. So I'll give you guys an example here of some Wolverine boots that are in my store. This will give you a clue as to what's going on. Some people say eBay's not giving me not giving me views, not giving me traffic. That's not true. Usually what they're doing is giving you an appropriate amount of impressions depending on how popular that item is. So here is the exact same shoe. One is size 10, one is size 5. Normally, I would never pick up size 5 because of these reasons. You can see here, impressions-wise, eBay only gave 3,200 impressions to the size 5, and they gave 13,000 impressions to the size 10. So almost triple the traffic to the size 10. And this is just because size 10 is more popular and it's searched more. And if you scroll over here to the right, you can see that my sales conversion rate is 2%. So that means 2 out of every 100 people who click on this listing are actually going to buy this pair of shoes. Versus the size 5, I haven't sold a single one of. The click-through rate is identical. Okay, so you're looking at, people see the picture in the title and they're clicking through at an average of 1 person every 200 views. Okay, so this gives me an idea. Wow, this size 5 really sucks. No one is looking for it. No one's looking for it, and the people who do see it are not even clicking on it. So that means I can improve my title, I can improve my picture. Also, I could lower the price. That's something that I'm going to have to do on this size 5 because obviously nobody wants it at its current price, so I've got to adjust that. So this is a really nifty tool because you can type in all of your listings and look at your active and your sold and find out exactly why they're not selling. eBay is not biased. Okay, what they're going to do is give you impressions and see how they do. It's exactly the same for YouTube. That's why YouTube has taught me so much about eBay, because somebody told me that a YouTube video is just like a SKU. Okay, so if you guys are listening to this content right now and you think that it's useful and you hit the like button and you subscribe, YouTube's going to be like, whoa, okay, this kind of content maybe resonates with this kind of person. I'm going to keep serving this type of content to that customer. It's exactly the same with eBay. If eBay sees, wow, every 100 or every 200 people that see this pair of boots scrolling, 1 person clicks, and for every 100 clicks, we know Chris is going to convert 2.8 boots. They're just going to keep sending you that traffic until it gets there. So I would consider a 2% conversion rate in the shoe category to be excellent. Okay, in the video game category, it's horrible, right? You want to have like a 5, 6, 8% conversion rate on those type of items. So this is really important. Think about your category, go through each individual item and find out what's selling well for you and what's not. So one more thing I want to bring up before we get into one of the things I think is the most powerful part of our Facebook group is timing yourself. So Sharon, let me see if I can find her post. Sharon just posted that yesterday she listed 5 items on eBay and Poshmark, and it took her 7 minutes per listing. This is excellent. This to give you an idea of how much money you can make per hour. If it's 7 minutes to list on eBay and Poshmark, that means she can do roughly 10 per hour. So 10 per hour at $5 an item. Profit is $50 an hour for that type of work, which is phenomenal, right? So you want to get an idea of what it takes you to list an item. For me, if I have the photographs already taken, it's taking me between 1 and 3 minutes to get an item actually listed. This is why I like this filter that Tech and Sports uses called Your eBay Listing is Confirmed, because not only do you see the listing going up, you get to see how often your listings are going up. So if you look at the timestamp here, some of the listings actually go up during the same 60 seconds. That's how efficient uploading it is. Essentially what I'm doing is filling out the item specifics, and all I'm doing is waiting for the pictures to load. So it's important to understand how fast your items go. So she asked about cross-listing. I use the program List Perfectly when I cross-list, but I currently no longer cross-list. The reason why is because it took me about 30 seconds per platform to cross-list. So I can list on Poshmark in 30 seconds, Mercari in 30 seconds. On the high end, closer to 1 minute per platform. What I figured was, instead of using that 1 minute to list on Poshmark and Mercari, I'll just list another item on eBay. So that took me from 40 to 70 listings a day to 80 listings a day consistently when I stopped cross-listing. Just because I just was more focused, I was less scatterbrained, and to be honest, I can sell on Poshmark and Mercari if I have to, but I'm just enjoying the peace of just selling on one platform, not having to delist anything, very, very few notifications on my phone, and just growing my eBay store to a size where I'm making the money that I need to make. So timing yourself is very important. Get a stopwatch, use your phone, figure out how long each of the steps takes you. This reseller instructions page that I made, bit.ly/reseller instructions, it's like a cheat sheet for making $1,000 a week. It's free. So just go to this URL. You can come in here. You can look at all the programs I have and the plans laid out for you for free. Okay, so essentially, buy stuff for $1,000, sell for $3,000 every week. Keep your expenses under $1,000. Boom, there's your $1,000 a week income. You now make the average income in the United States by just flipping junk. The United States is so rich that I can make a 6-figure living just selling the junk that people throw away. Nothing in my store is special. If you are one of the looky-loos in my store causing me to have a horrible sell-through rate, you're going to be really unimpressed with the stuff that's in my store. It's just pants, tops, and then stuff that I find for free, either at a curb alert on the side of the road or thrifting or at garage sales. I like selling junky items because personally I'm into that secondhand revolution and I enjoy that. Selling the higher end stuff is a lot more stressful at scale. At the last eBay meeting I went to, there's a gentleman there that had $7,000 a day in returns. He was selling the high-end stuff. There's a lot of fraud. Of course, his ASP, his average sale price, was very high, $400 or $500, which means he had a lot less transactions, but he had a lot more headaches. For me, I really don't have that many headaches. I have probably 1 to 2 returns per day, and those 2 items cost me $5. So the worst thing that can happen is I just refund people's money. I lost the $5 and shipping to each customer. I just lost $20 on a $1,300 sales day. So my blood pressure is pretty low. And another side effect of reselling and working for myself, honestly, is I don't feel the need to drink. Before I did reselling, I was in sales, and it was much, much more stressful. Sometimes you're working super late, sometimes you're working weekends, and sometimes you just don't know because you're at the will of your customer or your client, and it was very stressful negotiating. On eBay, if you want to, you don't have to negotiate at all. You can turn off best offer. The worst thing that can happen on eBay really is people just not paying if you accept an offer. That's really the worst thing that can happen. It's not a very high stress job in my opinion, as long as you list. If you do not consistently list though, you won't have consistent sales, and it will be more stressful than just having a regular job. So in the cheat sheet, I'm going to be putting in my notes for each episode. So in this episode, I really wanted to stress to you guys that you want to time your processes, and you want to check your click-through rate and your conversion rate in the traffic page. This is important because this is like your your GPS system. It tells you what's doing well and what's not doing well. Stop going to places that don't make you money or don't bring you joy. And then finally here, I put sell everyday value. That's something that I consider very important for resellers. Just sell things that are valuable every single day. Sell clothing, sell shoes. As Tech and Sports would say, if the apocalypse comes, we can trade clothes for potatoes, right? So I'm a fan of that. I'm just selling basic goods. It would be very unusual for a normal person to go into my store and not find a couple of items that they like, because there's thousands of clothing items that I have personally picked through. So another question that people are asking me is, where do I get goods? Great question. For you to answer that, you need to determine what niche you want to be in. Let's say you wanted to sell North Face as an example. It's a category that I do sell in, but only pre-owned. New is a little bit scarier. If I was going to play the new North Face game, I would probably do the outlet. The reason why I would do the outlet is because North Face outlet sometimes is a different quality than the traditional North Face. And in my experience, that has not been as subject to Vero complaints as you selling the newest season of North Face. That's a little bit scarier because they don't want any gray market sellers. You can't offer a North Face warranty. You're not a dealer, right? So a little bit fuzzy, but again, it comes down to, what do you want to sell? You want to sell North Face? There's only a few places to get it. You can either thrift it, or you can buy it at the outlet, or you can buy it at the retail store, or you can buy a gray market, a clearance at Dick's Sporting Goods, or whatever. You can find it at Cabela's on clearance, right? So there's different ways to find items, but that's how you figure out where to buy things. So I just asked myself, where does thrifted clothing come from? And it comes from people, and it comes from thrift stores, and it comes from donation centers. I started figuring out those people and developing relationships with them. If you watched last episode, I talked about spending time every single week improving your sourcing, and looking through this performance tab and figuring out what items sell well and what items do not sell well. So I spend 2 full days a week looking for new sources and new inventory. For about 20 hours a week, I am sourcing. So some people say they can't find any good sources, but they've only invested 15 minutes of their time. It might take you thousands of hours to find sources that are powerful, but that's going to change your life. So I appreciate you guys' time. Please smash the like button. Consider joining my group with Tech and Sports called the Resellers Podcast on Patreon. For $5 a month, you can get monthly coaching. That's really important because that monthly coaching you can try next week, next Wednesday. So it's the beginning of the month. Every first Wednesday we do coaching for free at the $5 level. That's the most banging deal in the resale game. For $35, you get that same coaching every single week. And again, it's a really, really good value. I can't answer everyone's questions, but we have over 100 people in this group who will answer your question pretty much instantaneously. Get in here. Make sure your accountability is really, really high. Post what you're working on. Post what you don't like. Post what you need help with, and other people will help you get there. So I appreciate you guys. Happy New Year. Got a big surprise for you guys coming up on the next video, so just please let me know in the comment section below where you're tuning in from, and let me know via email, chris@dailyrefinement.com, what you're working on. I'd love to hear from you. Everyone have a wonderful evening. Take care.